There are rules to the universe. Day follows night. Time moves forward, and places don't just disappear. At least, that's what I believed before this happened. This isn't just a story. It's a warning, because I rented a room online. It was everything I needed, cheap, convenient, and quiet. But there is something I didn't know when I clicked that Book Now button. The room doesn't exist in daylight. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today I will tell you about the time I rented a room online. It sounds boring, but wait until you hear the rest of the story. It all started like any other search. I was in between apartments. I recently relocated for work and I was trying to find something temporary while I figured things out. Hotels were too expensive. Airbnb had slim pickings. Then I stumbled across a listing on a lesser-known site called Stay-A-Know. Spacious studio, private bath, cozy atmosphere, $28 per night. There were no reviews. One photo. Dim lighting, a single wooden bed, faded rug, and a small window. But the listing had a strange kind of charm, old school. Authentic, it almost felt like a cabin frozen in time. I was intrigued, and I booked it. The confirmation came instantly. Address, door code, instructions. Check in after 6 p.m. only. Please do not attempt to access the room during daylight hours. I thought it was weird, but maybe it was some kind of cleaning schedule. When I arrived around 7:45 p.m., the address led me to an older street on the edge of town. Old brick buildings, shuttered windows, and silence. There was a tall building with vines crawling up the sides, and on the third floor, a single light flickered behind thick curtains. That was it. I took a deep breath, calmed my nerves, and pressed the doorbell. It chimed once, twice, then stopped. No intercom. No security camera. Nothing. The hallway inside smelled like dust and lavender. Every footstep echoed like a whisper in a church. Room 3C. I entered the code. The lock clicked. It was exactly like the photo. Small, warm, dusty, but oddly comforting. No TV, no clocks, no mirror. Just a bed, a wooden desk, and that tiny window looking out into the alleyway. I remember sitting down on the edge of the bed, feeling like I'd stepped into a dream. That night I slept better than I had in weeks. But when I woke up the next morning, everything changed. I woke up to silence. Absolute oppressive silence. No birds, no cars, no light. I reached for my phone. 7:13 a.m., but the window was black. Not dark, black. I walked over and pulled the curtain aside. Nothing. No buildings, no alley, no sky. Just void. I opened the door to the hallway. Darkness. I flicked on the room light. It worked, but it lit nothing beyond the threshold. I grabbed my bag, phone, jacket, tried the door again. The hallway wasn't there. There was only the room, and that's when I realized I was trapped. Every time I checked the clock, time had barely moved. I banged on the walls. No sound, no response. I tried the window. It wouldn't open. Around 6:04 p.m. I saw it. A faint glow outside the window. The alley appeared, slowly, like something being painted back into existence. By 6:20, the hallway was back, and I could leave. But I didn't. I had to know what had happened. I stayed another night, and the next. Every morning the same thing. Void, silence. Nothing existed but that room until one night I found something under the rug. A small trapdoor. It opened with a creak like bones breaking. A ladder descended into blackness. I shouldn't have gone down. I know that now. But I did. The air grew colder as I climbed, and wet, like breathing through a soaked cloth. At the bottom was a tunnel, stone walls, moss, flickering lights that turned on one by one as I walked. The tunnel led to another door, made of metal, and behind it, something impossible. The room again, exactly the same, except I was already in it. Lying in bed, sleeping, I stared at myself for what felt like hours. Then my other self sat up and looked at me and smiled. It said nothing, just pointed upward. I ran, climbed the ladder back into the original room, slammed the trapdoor shut. It was 5:56 p.m. I left, but that wasn't the end. The listing disappeared from the website the next day. But every night since I dream of the room, of the void, of the second me waiting, sometimes I wake up and I'm not sure which version I am, because that room still exists, just not in daylight. Some rooms offer more than shelter. Some offer a glimpse into something older, something outside time. If you ever see a listing that warns you not to enter before dark, don't be curious. Don't book it. Don't enter it. And whatever you do, don't stay until morning. So would you stay in a room that disappears during the day? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other stories, and I will see you in the next one.